to today's Pacesetter Mom Life, and we're talking about understanding picky eating in autism. Understanding picky eating in autism. Like our regular, please call your friends, your neighbors, your loved ones, your colleagues, your siblings, your parents, those that you know will benefit from this amazing topic. Please do well to invite everyone. Call your community, call your village people, call everyone. And thank you for doing that. It's such an amazing thing to be here doing this every day. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, understanding picky eating in autism. Wow, this, when it comes to autism, this aspect is a very tough one for some parents. I get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of messages, I get a lot of calls, parents complaining their children are not eating. I still got one even yesterday saying all the child wants to eat is French fries, chicken nuggets, morning, noon, and night. Please stay tuned. You are going to be going home with something remarkable, something transformational that could change the narrative for your child with picky eating. Yes. So understanding picky eating in autism, that's our topic for today. Understanding picky eating in autism. How many parents have prepared a meal and they begged, bribed, yet negotiated with their child with autism, yet the child still refuses to eat? How many? Can I see that in the comment section? I want this session to be very engaging, because this is a tough topic. Because it's a child that eats that you can give nutrients to. Isn't that? If the child is not taking what you are giving, how will the child benefit from the food? This is the foundation. This is where it even starts. I have a parent that if you say, do this, do that, oh, my child does not eat anything other than rice. We have to first pull that child from that realm to start introducing food one after the other. Because if the child is not accepting what you are giving him or her, how do you give the nutrients? How do you give that child the vitamins like we talked about yesterday? How do you give that child what will feed the child's brain? How do you give the child what will bring overall transformation and eliminate those autism symptoms that you are battling with? So, first of all, you need to handle picky eating. When it comes to parenting a child with autism, it's a tough one, but it is conquerable. It is not an impossible thing. It is not a defeated challenge. I went through it and I came out victorious. You too can. There was a time if I cook beans like this, oh my God, my child would just be crying. Just the sight of seeing that beans will just spoil his day. At times, it got so bad that if I go out of the kitchen to get something, before I will come, that child will trash that beans. I mean it. At times, he will just take it to the tap, turn it on, and just use water to dilute it. And okay, come and give me the watery stuff now. It was that bad. He didn't want to have anything to do with beans. All he wanted was rice. There were some foods he wanted, but when it comes to beans, he didn't want to eat beans at all. Whether it's lentils, whether it's any kind of beans. We have different kinds of beans. We have lentils, we have pigeon pea, different beans. But he didn't want to eat any one of them. anything that looks like this, you didn't even want it. I had to go through this process I will be sharing with you today. Please fasten your seatbelt because you are going to live here with knowledge, practical knowledge, practical tools that will help you overcome picky eating challenge when it comes to parenting your child. One thing I want you to realize the truth about picky eating is that it is not often stubbornness like some people make it. It's not stubbornness. This child is too stubborn, doesn't want. They have some people say, it's because children, autistic children or children with disability generally, they are very strong willed. What they want is what they want. You can't bend them, you can't make them do what they don't want to do. You can't make them eat what they don't want to eat. Most times they might be finding it difficult to process it. Most times they might be having issues with that particular food that they are not able to communicate to you. They are not able to explain how that food makes them feel. They're not able to tell you what is really going on. And also preference. They might not just like the texture. They might not just like the taste. They might not just like the sight of the food. They might not just like how, children just love what makes them feel good, what makes them feel happy. They could be self-centered at times. They don't care whether this food will really nourish them. That's why you see some children, they can just be asking for a particular food and they want to eat it all the time. You need to now balance it and tell them, no, I had one child, as he's waking up, it's one food he's asking of. In the afternoon, I want to eat. I want to eat this food. Like, no, no, you just ate this in the morning. No, I can still eat it. I want it. I like it. It's a conscious and deliberate process. It's not something you use first. You don't use gas goes, like they say in this part of the world. You don't use force. You don't use that authority to say, I am your parent, I am your father, I'm your mother. You must do what I say. It doesn't really work that way. So you need to understand that most times it's not really stubbornness. It could be that the child is having sensory processing issues. Anxiety could make a child not to eat a particular food. And also, most times, we parents are not predictable. When it comes to parenting children with special needs, routine and structures can never be taken out. It can never be kept in a corner. You need to put structures, you need to put routines to feeding that child. That's why it's best you at times have a food timetable. Not that you wake up in the morning, you are confused, you don't even know what you are going to feed your family that day. It ought not to be so. Don't wake up and say, what are we going to eat today? You start running, Janet, what do we do? No. You wake up consciously, you already know it's planned. You have to be intentional when it comes to feeding your child, feeding your family as a whole. You need to be intentional. Don't come from the place of chaos. Don't come from the place of overwhelm. Don't come from the place of fire brigade as it happens. No, because unpredictability is an enemy when it comes to feeding your child with autism. When it comes to parenting your child with autism, generally, you need to be predictable. Our Heavenly Father is predictable, He's constant, He's unfailing. You parents, you need to be predictable. Unpredictability might be one of the signs and one of the reasons your child is not eating that meal you are placing before him or her. Another challenge is oral motor challenges. Some children have issues with their mouth, they have issues with their gum. Some have issues with the muscles surrounding their mouth. They cannot really use it properly. Some can't chew, some can't even swallow. I have seen a child that can't chew. So some are having issues, rigid thinking patterns. So they're having a lot of issues that is making them reject that meal. I want to talk about 5 hidden reasons children refuse food. Come on, call your loved ones if you have not done that. 5 hidden reasons children refuse food. There are more than this, but for the sake of our time and what we are going to be talking about today, I'll just give you this one: sensory sensitivity. Sensory issues is a tough one when it comes to autism. Their senses, when you see children, they're having sensory issues. I have seen, when my child was having this a picky eating challenge. Oh my God, there was a certain type of food he was very, some of them said they can't even touch that. There's some that's where you're supposed to swallow, because that's why I always emphasize that children should be trained to use their hand to learn to swallow, because it helps with that senses. It helps with that sensory issues they are having. Some can't use their hand to take food. They have this feeling to it. They're having this sensitivity to some food. Because of that, they can't use that. Some might, take it, but they will use spoon, fork, knife, and all that. But they can't use that. That's why when it comes to this, I had to teach my child using different texture, play-doh, to work on his hand muscle, work on this, the texture pattern he was having when it comes to that food until he started doing it. It's a conscious, deliberate, and intentional effort. It is not a one-day thing. And you don't need to start and just feel, if you just give your child food today, tomorrow, the child will just be taking it consciously. Consciously work on it. You will see that child that you feel is not eating this food, that child you feel is stubborn, is always rejecting food. I have seen a parent complain until he started seeing changes. I said, look at what you were saying. Is that child not taking this now? Even smoothie. I said that this child will never swallow anything. I said, start with using syringe. You can buy a 5 ml syringe, buy a 10 ml syringe, start taking it and putting it to the child's mouth gradually. Before you know it, the child will still finish that cup. You don't need to give up entirely because the child is not eating, because the child does not want to take it. You just say, that is it. No way. We don't give up here. When it comes to parenting special needs children, we don't give up. You continuously make efforts on a daily basis. Today, that child can take that smoothie, juices, depending on whatever she wants the child to take. It started from somewhere. Don't just give up saying that this child is not eating because of that. Then another reason could be that the food is too crunchy. Some children can't handle crunchy food. It could also be that the food is too soft. You need to find out the texture of your child's preference. Find out what the child prefer. Some don't like soft food. Some don't like my child. When he started, he liked crunchy food. He liked, the class of carrots, coconut, very crunchy food. Some don't like soft food. Some reasons again could be food anxiety. Some just see it and they just have this anxiety. They just have this nervous system breakdown. That in fact they will just shut down seeing that food, because I experienced that with my child. Just seeing that food alone, the day is gone. He won't eat that food. He will not eat that food. He will just start crying. He will just start throwing tantrums. As in, just the sight of that food. Past negative experiences. Probably you tried to eat that food, you didn't even like it, or probably the way you prepared it, the way the thing felt, will just be a reason. Also, fear of vomiting. Maybe I had a child that does not like onions. Just, this life is about perspective. Your mindset, when it comes to this, just for everyone, your mindset is very, very important. I had a child because he just feels does not like onions. Anytime you take onions, he will just vomit. And it became ulti. I said that today that child eats onions. So I said, okay, what was that thing that was making you throw up when you take onions? You just had the feeling, I don't like it because I don't like to eat onions. Anyway, I see it. Do you know when I knew that this thing is not really like he's allergic to it or he has any reaction or something to this thing? If you blend that onions inside that food, it will take it to, but just the sight of it, he will just be afraid that it's going to throw up. Before you know it, it's already throwing up. Fear of unfamiliar foods. Some children with autism, naturally, they like to do familiar things. They like repetitive things. They like things that they are used to. They don't like new things generally. That's one of the signs and symptoms of autism generally. They do not want anything outside of the norm. They don't like anything outside what they are used to. So when they see something different, especially if you've not exposed them to it since they were babies, it becomes a problem. So they don't just want to accept it. At times, when things are missed, hey, this one was another issue. My child, if you give him any food that misses, probably you give him a rice or maybe vegetable sauce or something, you stir it together, he will not eat. If you are giving cereal, probably oat cereal or something, you put maybe date powder or whatever you're adding to it, nuts or something, you just stir it together. That was a red flag. That was a no-no. You just start crying from them. So listen, you need to study. That's why when it comes to parenting children with disabilities, parenting children with special needs, you need to study them. You need to find out what they like. You need to find out the texture. You need to find out their preference. You need to find out what gives them comfort when it comes to food so that you can apply and follow suit. You just follow because you train from the known to the unknown. You don't train from the unknown to the known. No, you train from the known. You train from the familiar. You train from what they are used to. You train from what they like, not to what they don't like. I hope you are getting what I am saying this afternoon. You change from the known to the unknown. So fear of unfamiliar food could be reasons why they don't want it. Or the food could be just wet. They don't like the feeling. Just like some children don't like when the floor is wet. As they step on water, they just feel, that sensitivity. So you need to pay attention to how your child reacts when it comes to feeding your child. Another reason is because they need routine. I've explained that. Because they need routine, because they don't want you to take them unawares. The children with autism, children generally themselves don't even want you to take them unawares. That's why sometimes if they are going out, you need to first inform them in the house. We are going to this place. We are visiting this place. They don't want to just get to somewhere unexpectedly and it's not what they planned for. So, need for routine. Children may eat the same food every day that it makes them feel safe. They don't mind. They don't even care. This one you're talking about nutrients. This one you're talking about vitamins. That is your own. They don't mind. As far as it makes them feel safe, they want to dwell there. My child could ask for one food morning. He will ask for that food afternoon. He will ask for that food in the evening. Not minding whether it's the best. Because what do they really care? What do they even know? It's you that would stand and work on it. Parents, it's your job. You need to work on it and find out why these children, why are they not eating? Why are they not? Don't just give up. Don't just feel this particular food. Some parents just say, this particular food, my child does not eat it. And it remains so. Some could have issues with swallowing. They might not even want to swallow. They just want to chew. Some might not even be able to chew. They don't even know how to chew, or they've not been trained to. Maybe you've not trained the child on how to chew. You've not worked on the mouth muscles. You've not worked on it to be firm enough to chew. So those could be reasons why the children are not eating what you present to them. Then again, which we cannot overlook, some could be medical issues. So you need to pay attention. Constipation, reflux, food allergies, because when it comes to picky eating, there is a thing. Food allergy is a thing. You need to pay attention to that. That is why you also need to involve professionals when it comes to tackling picky eating. It could be medical issues. It could be allergies. It could just be constipation. Some could have acid reflux because of this. They feel uncomfortable when it comes to eating. And this is what investigating. So, what not to do? That is one of the things you need to learn today. what not to do when it comes to feeding a child with developmental issues. What not to do. Number one, don't force feed. Don't force them. If you don't eat this food, you will not eat another thing. I will let you know that I'm your mother. Don't force feed. You might make them hate that food the more. That's why you see there is this saying that teachers, when you have a subject teacher and the teacher is too harsh, when the teacher always flogs, always yells when it comes to that particular subject, you end up hating the subject. True or false? True or false? Let me see that in the comment section. You end up hating the subject because you don't like the teacher. You end up hating the subject, not because the subject itself is difficult or not because you don't like it, but the fear of the teacher, the hatred for the teacher, or the dislike, you end up transferring it to the subject. So people will say, my mathematics teacher was very tough, always with K. Because of that, I do not like mathematics. I never passed it because I just hated mathematics. So don't use that forceful method. It is wrong. Please, if you have been doing that, stop it today. Forceful feeding, don't do that. Don't also shame the child. What is wrong with you? This that nagging, complaining. No, don't use shame tactics. Don't use that to uh, 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 handle it because it will not lead you anywhere. And don't also compare. Even the Bible says they that compare themselves to themselves are not wise. Your journey with your child is just you and that child. Don't compare. Even if the child has 20 other siblings, don't compare them. No two children are the same. Never. I always say this here. No two children are the same. Even if they are twin, even if they are triplets, they are never the same. Don't compare them to their siblings. Don't compare them and look at Janet is doing this. Oh, Lovett is doing that. You are not taking. Why now? Is it not your sibling? Are you not from the same parents? It's not like give it to you. Don't do that. Don't compare. Don't make them feel bad. Don't put them down because I'd rather seek to know and how to handle that challenge instead of going about it the wrong way. Don't shame them. Don't compare them. Don't also threaten them. Don't threaten them. Don't give them threats because some children are there. If you threat, that thing you're telling them not to do, that's the one they want to try. Have you not noticed that? You're telling them don't go there. That's the time they want to try. They are curious in nature. Children are naturally born curious. They need to know why you are telling them this. I had one child back then at home before I got married. You would tell the child, see snake. You say, where's the snake? Where's the snake? I want to see the snake. Are you for real? You say, see snake. You say, what snake? Show me the snake. So him, I want to see what you're talking about before you know whether the thing will harm me or not. So you threatening and using, so much threat does not always work. It will not work. Because some children want to try that thing that say they should not try. That place you say they should not go is where they want to go. That thing you told them not to touch is what they just want to see what will happen if they try it. Every child is born curious. They come with that curiosity. That's how they explore. Oh my God. Some children, have you not seen that you buy remote control? They want to open it and see how it's formed. They want to see what's the connection. They don't even know that they're destroying it by doing so. Because of that curiosity, they want to see what and what it comprises of, what and what is inside, the components. Before you know it, it's the end of destroying it. Not because they are mean, not because they are stubborn, but they're just curious. They want to know. Children just like to know. So don't threaten them, don't shame, and also don't bribe. We talked about bribing yesterday, using junks to bribe. If you do this, that's how some people got addicted to screen because they are always using screen to bribe their children. If you eat this food, you will watch TV. I will put that cartoon for you. Please, parents, stop that. Don't do it. If you eat this food and you come and watch screen, if you do it, don't do bribing because until you bribe that child, it will be as if the child is not going to eat. The child will get so used to it that you will not eat until you bribe. If you start that process, you will end up doing it consistently. You will not be at the mercy of that child. Until you bribe, the child will not eat. Until you bring bribery and corruption, the child will not eat. It will be as if, okay, what are you offering me in exchange of this food? Even if you need to try it, it shouldn't be like a daily thing. Once in a while, when situation and location demands, you can say, okay, I will do this. Okay, let's negotiate. I will do this for you, or you do this, or you have this, or you could play, or you could do this, or you could, but don't make it today. You tell them, I will give this to you if you eat this. Tomorrow, I will give this to you. Tomorrow, you will have this. No, don't use that. If not, it's not sustainable. You can't sustain it. In the long run, you will not be able to cope with it because if you start it, you end up continuing it. Don't force them. Don't shame them. Don't bribe them. Don't make it every day that if you don't bribe them, they will not eat. No, you need to understand that today. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying. I hope I'm communicating. So now, what actually works? You need to ask yourself, now, what actually works? You need to move gradually from accepted food to new foods. That's why I told you, move from the known to the unknown. The child will be relaxed, will be well able to take it. Move from the accepted foods to the new food. Don't just start with giving the food that the child doesn't like, just place before him or her. No. Example, probably the child like French fries. You could bring that same potato and bake it without frying it in oil, deep oil. The same food. Do food chaining. Don't just, okay, I'm getting rid of this food and it remains so. No. You could do roasted potatoes. Still, you are giving potatoes. Sweet potatoes. Meanwhile, the child wanted it. I also did that. My child wanted fried plantain. I was still giving him plantain, but I moved from the fried plantain because it's highly inflammatory. So I moved because of how I didn't want it. I moved from fried plantain to normal boiled plantain to still make sure that he was still eating that plantain that he wanted. So use wisdom when it comes to handling this. So what should you do? Just follow food chain. It could be that okay, the food is that one that they want is still there. You are taking another one they don't want. Add it together and present it to the child. Add it together and present. Okay, a child does not like vegetables, for instance, but he likes jollof rice. You get the jollof rice, put the vegetable by the side, and make them eat it. It might not, they might finish the rice and not finish the vegetable all at once, but gradually, they will take it. And that's why another point is exposure, constant exposure. Dear parents, you see this, as a parent, you are in the Boski repeater. As a parent, you are in the Boski constant exposure. You are in the Boski repeater because you will do it today, tomorrow, until the child accept it finally. Constant exposure. A child might need 50 to 20 exposures before acceptance. Yes, the child might need 15 to 20 exposures before acceptance. They will say it today, no. Tomorrow, no. Before you know it, let me even try this. It might not really be that bad. After trying it, you see they get hooked. Don't just give up over one attempt that you have tried it today. Then you just feel, I gave it today. The child didn't want it. Therefore, I am not giving again. I'm not even going to try. Oh, this thing is very hard. This child wouldn't eat what I want. How come? Because Jennifer keeps saying, oh, nutrient, this, that, nutrition. Let me know. No. Another thing could be even the dish that you are placing that food in. The plate, the color. You can change the color. Some children like white. My child have some colors. Everyone, even me, I have my preferred colors. When I see it in anything, I'm easily moved to that color. You all have colors that you like. So why do you feel that because these children have autism or these children have one challenge or another, it stops them from being human? No, it doesn't stop them from being human. They still have their rights, they still have their wants, they still have their likes. They still have their favorites. You don't just feel because they are battling challenges, that does not that means they don't have a will. That means they don't even have a right to what they want anymore. No, You could change the colors. It could be that, okay, father, that this child likes this color. Use the color of that plate. Use the color. You place it before that child. That could just change it. Texture, temperature. Some, if food is not hot, they don't eat. Some, if the food is hot, it brings aggression, it brings anger, they don't want to eat it. That is why you need to pay attention. Pay attention. Have a food journal. Be taking it down. If this child, if I anytime I give this child this particular meal, because of this, the child does not want it. If it's like this, the child does not want it. And also celebrate small win. Celebrate even touching it at all. Celebrate if the child eats today, it was one spoon he was able to eat inside the full bowl. Celebrate it and elaborate on it, expatiate on it, as in just exaggerate it, as if it's one big thing the child did. So that tomorrow the child will be encouraged to do more. They feel happy when you celebrate them. They want to also make you happy. They also want to make you feel good, not that they are just making you sad all the time. No, so celebrate it. Celebrate it. It could even be that they just carry the food. No, some of them they like to smell. They just carry the food by smelling alone. Just do that. Make them feel good with it. It could be leaky. Let them lick it. Tiny victories matter. Tiny victories matter. Again, tiny victories matters because we are always trapped as parents. We're always trapped in that I want things big. If it doesn't happen overnight, that means it's not working. When I started seeing changes, it was coming in trickles. It doesn't mean that it wasn't happening, but it was happening until the big thing came. It's like when you are losing weight. I'm on a weight loss journey. Is before others to see it, you first see it. Others might not be seeing it. You first notice that when I wear this shirt, it's always very tight, it's huggy. I can't even wear it without looking for something to cover it or something, or it's just bring out my tummy. You will notice that as you are losing the weight, 1 kg gone, 2 kg, 3 kg, others will not notice it. 5 kg gone, others might not notice it. You will just notice it by your size, the way you are feeling, or how light you feel, or the cloth size, how fitting it is. Before others will notice it, there's already a great change. We all know that. Before others will see it, you have first seen it. After you, it will not be the immediate family or those that are close to you, your acquaintances, your friends, the relationship around you. They say, oh, Jenny, you are losing weight. What are you doing? Oh, this, that. They start giving that compliment. Meanwhile, you started noticing it. Probably what the scale. The scale was moving, but the body might not really be moving. Or the body might be moving, the scale wasn't moving. But you knew that something was happening until your family, I noticed this thing. My friend, no. Before outsiders will not sit and say, wow, what's happening? What a transformation. So that's how it is with these children. When things start happening underneath, it's not overnight. You just see it happen gently. It's just happening gradually, but something is definitely happening. You just see it's moving. The child is now beginning to leak. From there, the child is now even beginning to, touch the food. Is it not from clapping you now start to dance? So if the child is clapping and not started dancing yet, it's a great step. It's a great progress. It's progress in the right direction. So you celebrate the little wins today. I am telling you this, Tepe. Why eating? Why picky eating happens? Sorry for why picky eating happens. Sorry for that. I've helped you understand why picky eating happens, but understanding alone won't help you. That is why you need a community. You need a circle that understand. Because on a daily basis, these children is one day different issues. They might come up today with this. Tomorrow it might be a different. They just change. As an adult, even you at times you like to explore. Today, one particular food might be your favorite food. Tomorrow it might not. Today, if I found out that okay, this year this is what I actually liked. The next time it will be as if next year it's not really like I don't really know why this was my favorite in the first place. I just stay. So you need a community, a safe space, because understanding alone will not expand your child's food choices. Understanding alone will not just move that child. One knowledge that you jump with will not help you. Parents, you need a step-by-step process. You need somebody to hold you by the hand. Imagine that parent that he tried this, he say, okay, use this method. You might still use that method, it might not necessarily work. There is nothing like, in this case, there's nothing like, oh, as it happened to this, that's the same way I will follow it. It might not work for your child that way. That's why you need constant guidance. You know, you can say, okay,